something about a miracle and right?
Sure. We have a board.
You know what French phrase is? I
Sorry, Logan. Sign your name, please.
You think short plus short and equals one?
You can have this one so you know what it is.
The area of the rectangle is
Okay, guys, should be. I can check here. We'll probably go through the list today or tomorrow.
Steve, I don't know. It's too confusing out here to figure out. One in the high school gym. I love going to that. Last year.
All right, review problem.
Maybe 10:45 complete.
Girls. Yeah, I just number the size. Here's for it. That's yours. Because if it wasn't, it's the first for real. Yep.
No, right here. It's based on Okay.
Versus equal to one side. But I can't see. No, on your picture.
What?
On your picture, where's the equal? Go to this side, or go to that side? Nope. What's this side?
What I know.
What other side? What's that?
So that you're going to the right side.
Or one is always square and one is always round.
The square is the.
Easy one of the two. Well, you can easy.
Oh, okay. This shape is like. Oh, I know what control this.
Easy one.
Holy cow. Please do. I want it like that. I'll just draw on it. Watching. My breath. Shush. It's a movie. Man, it's a movie. We know that. Always know that. Always know that. Oh, that. Yes, all tomorrow. Not like later on. I might have to go get
Alright. 3, 2, 1. Hey. Oh yeah, you did. First thing, I gave you a permission slip to watch the one movie we're gonna watch next week since we're gonna be done with the book this week. So I figured the math book.
Is it just yeah, you should have picked it.
Huh? No, because I had it on some math.
Well, you should have picked the movie.
What?
He was
Wednesday.
Is it just this class?
No.
It won't be all the classes put together.
Okay, here we go. First thing, let's start with volume because that's actually the easier one of the two to find. Who can tell me how to find volume, Maddie? How do you find the volume?
She knows it was wrong. She knows how to do it.
Yeah, you do.
The
But tell
surface area was wrong, not the volume.
how do you find the volume?
50 times.
50 times 8 times 25. Remember, volume is the area of the base.
The height.
Okay, guys, strike one. 2 more you owe me time during recess. Fix it now. Okay. Area of the base times height. Base is 8 times 50, which is.
Wait,
You
what?
got it. 8 times 50.
Oh.
400. 400 times 25 is. That one might be a little bit. Well, still not too tricky.
Hey, I got it.
10,000 is correct. Let's see if I can squeeze this in here. Very good. What is the units though? What is the units? Centimeter is what? Remember, volume is different than surface area. So it's going to be centimeters. I'll have to squeeze it down here on the bottom. Centimeters what? Evan? Cubed. The 3. Okay. Triple, I guess. Okay. Next one, surface area. If you remember that one, you have to find the area of all the what? Sides, faces. Yep, so we have top, bottom, left, right, and front, and back. Okay, so that's the area of the top, or the bottom.
Is shoot, I didn't write 400.
400. Is the top the same as the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah. So both of these will be 400. What about the left side and the right side? Those two big sides. It is
Oh.
50 by 25, which is how big, Josie?
2,500 for both of them.
2,500?
For both of them. No, not each. Both of them.
Oh, so what's each of them?
1250.
1250 for each of them. Gotcha. So that's 1250. I gotta squeeze it in there. Okay, last one, front and back. What's the area of the front or the back? Because they should be the same. Alex?
That's 200.
And that was 8 times what? Very good. So each of these are 200. Now what do I have to do with all those numbers? Add them up. So go ahead, I need someone to add these quick.
Oh yeah, you can use mine. It's not yours. It's not E3. Yeah, I know.
Shh. Fisher, what are you giving to add them up? 3,700 or 3,700? And that's centimeters what?
Huge.
Who said
I mean, not square.
square is correct. Because remember, area is always
I'm
squared.
really good at this.
Okay. Oh, we got one left yet. Let me go down. Can someone please draw what the net would look like? And again, you get lots of different answers for this. Sorry, Elliot.
And I only come up with one.
Oh, you get lots. Remember how many nets you can make for a cube? 11.
Yeah, but like,
This one's not quite 11, but it's quite a few.
like maybe 3. I think make 7.
Okay, and don't worry, Elliot, we won't judge you on how straight your lines are. Now, when he's done drawing, I want you to try and picture it in your mind, folding it up and see if he'll actually fold up and make that box.
I got it up here about
Except these. Question, will that fold up to make the box?
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. Now, if we were to number these, okay, if this was 8, maybe I gotta scroll back up so you can see this one. If this is 8 here, anyone know what this side's going to have to be? 25, very good. Anyone know what the long side's going to be? 50. Very good. Yeah. Okay. We have something new today. It's called a histogram, although it's not terribly new. Okay. Now, here's the definition. It's a display that shows the distribution of numerical data. Numerical is the only kind of data this will work for. It cannot work for categorical. So, Josie, okay. So basically, I'll tell you this. It looks like a bar graph, and this I'll show you how it's different than a bar graph in just a second. Okay. There's that dot plot up there, and what I'm going to show you is they took that dot plot and made it into a histogram. And I'll show you why it's different than a bar graph. But if you can make a bar graph, you'll be able to make a histogram no problem. Okay, so if you're confident in making a bar graph, you'll be able to make a histogram no problem.
So it's a diagram?
It is, or a graph. FYI, that movie sheet, please try to bring back by Wednesday. We're probably going to start the movie on Friday, I think. Yeah.
Well, no.
This Wednesday's already done.
Yesterday was yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, getting chicken tonight. Getting
Alright.
I'll come over and eat them.
Thanks.
Getting them when they're like
Thanks.
well, which are bags?
Alright. Any questions?
I mean, no. Are the other bags?
Strike 2. What?
Oh, what are the other classes doing?
Yeah.
The same one?
Yeah.
Oh, holy.
During your course. Just keep it for students. So, here's what they did. Here's how a histogram 1 second. Hello. Yes. Let me ask. Were you trying to call home this morning? He says no. He's fine. You got that. You aren't trying to call home? Okay. Alright. So, here's what they did. A histogram, if you were to do a bar graph, you would have a bar for every number, right? So you'd have a bar at 5 and a bar at 6 and a bar at 10 and 15 and 20 and so on and so on. A histogram puts them into intervals. So they say instead of every dot being a bar, they're going to say between 5 and 10 is going to be a bar, and 10 and 20 will be a bar, and 20 and 30 will be a bar, and so on. Does that make sense? So here's what they did. Okay? They said between 5 and anything less than 10 was going to be a bar. Does that make sense? And then they said from 10 to anything less than 20, which would include that little one right there, would be another bar. Now it doesn't have to go up by 10s. You could say the intervals would be 5, and anything from 0 to 5 would be a bar, 5 to 10, and then 10 to 15. You could do 1 and 2 if you really wanted to. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah. No. Yes.
Okay? Huh?
How do you figure out where the data enters different numbers?
What do you mean?
Because there's like 5 and there's also a 6 and some other numbers in that.
Okay. How many numbers are less than 10?
Okay. Oh.
That's why there's 6. Okay. Then it's how many numbers are, well, that's a long one to count. Notice how many numbers are between 60 and 70. 1 between 50 and 60. 1 between 30 and 40. 5. Does that make sense how they're making these bars? Okay? So it's not very hard. And I'll tell you this, it may make it easier to make a dot plot first and then make the histogram. You don't have to. Okay? So we're going to practice making one here.
Should we make it on this page?
I don't care where you make it. It doesn't have to be super pretty. But here's the thing. Here's the, I'll try and make this picture a little bit bigger here. Okay. So here's what I want. I want you to make your intervals, you know, like the other one was 0 to 5 and 5 to 10 and 10 to 15. I want this one to go up by 2. So like 0 to 2.
So then it would be 0 to less than 2, right?
Yeah, 2 or less.
You go up to that one more time and see how. No, down.
Oh, sorry.
So they just did 0 to 10.
Mm-hmm. And when they, I'll tell you this, if you notice this, when they go 0 to 10, if they don't include 10, it's anything less than 10. So like if you want to really think about it, it's like going like from 0 to 9.9. Okay, they don't include the 10 with it. Sure, 9 repeating would work. Okay, so I'm going to help you with the first one. So, first of all, you should number this 0 to, how far do I have to go up? Oh my goodness, 20?
No, let's do by 5s. 5.
I'll go by 5s?
Yeah.
That'll make it easier. Sure. 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay? Huh? You're going to be making the histogram, Mr. Yanni. Oh. It's getting towards the end of the year. Getting burned out. Now, over here, we have to put, this will be like how many dots are in that range. Okay, so remember, this would be still temperature. I'm just going to put temp for short. Okay. This one would be number, is this number of days, I think? Sorry, I kind of moved the graph. Yeah, how many days? So this is number of days. Number of days. And it looks like I'm going to have to go probably 0, maybe go up by 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Hopefully 12 is high enough.
Wait, how do you know what high enough?
Well, I don't know yet.
I'm just gonna go.
I have to put these in intervals.
Go by 14.
So, if we start at 5, which is right here, do we have anything between 0 and 5?
No.
Not a thing. Okay? So that bar, we're not going to have a bar there because there's no data there. Okay? Now, between 5 and 10, and remember you do not include 10, it's really 10 or less. Okay? How many numbers do we have in that interval?
8.
Is there? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that bar for the 5 is going to go up to what? 8. Okay? And I'll just kind of quickly shade it in. Okay? Does that make sense so far? Okay, I want you guys to try the next one then, between 10 and, what is it, 15.
Oh, I need to. Wait, can you draw a little line?
Oops, sorry, that's
12.
that's
Okay,
13. My bad. Better?
So you're gonna knit past 12. So that means
Ah.
16. Yeah. Oh, it means to go higher. I went up to 22.
Well, good thing you went higher than me, because now I have to add mine.
16.
How many points are in that interval, that range? There's 15 of them?
Yep.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 15. So I gotta make my bar go all the way up to 15.
Oh, it's not even that much. Really not that hard.
No, it's really just like a bar graph, but you're putting it into a group instead of just single. Okay. So then our next one is between 15 and
7.
there's only 7?
Yeah.
7.
Oh, it's the last one, isn't it? There's 7. So
What if it was the last one, but then there was 20? Then there was like a dot on 20. So then you guys make another.
then you'd have to make another one there.
It's like almost that's almost 9.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I went a little high, didn't I?
That's like 9.
I'll fix it.
And
Don't
what
worry.
you just said.
I went a little high.
My graph.
I should have been more down in here. Is that better now? Picky piggies.
No.
Okay. And then obviously there's nothing at 20 because there's nothing 20 or bigger. So, does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it.
So it's just like a bar graph. So today we're gonna practice this. Now I want to show you one more. Well, actually no, we're gonna practice this first. Then I'll show you the last thing. I think that's what we'll do. I'll change it up. Okay. So here's what you have to do. Let me pull the book up
I
real
think you
quick.
should just show us the last thing first because we're leaving.
It's like 6.
You have already seen it though.
Oh,
Box and whisker.
what?
We're already talking about it. We'll probably talk. Oh, 5th graders.
Yes.
FYI. Tomorrow we're having half-hour classes, so you can come, but you're going to be having to leave at 9 o'clock. So just as an FYI for tomorrow.
Wait, what's going on today?
We're just having half-hour classes. Okay, here we go. So this first question, you really only have one question today, and that is it. Okay, that's why I said I'll probably let you work on this. We'll talk about it quick, and then I'll talk about box and whisker pot again. Even though I did bring it up already this year once. Okay, so this is the one we just looked at. Does that make sense? Okay? And on the previous page is the dot plot. So you might need to look back at that dot plot. Here's what it's asking you to do. It says the intervals of this one were 10. It wants you now to make a histogram that displays the same data using the interval of 5. So really you're doing the same exact thing, except instead of going up by intervals of 10, you're going up by intervals of 5. Kind of what we just did. Okay? So, and then there's only these 2 questions to answer about it. One says, which students are most likely to wake up latest in the morning? And some of you probably. And last one, which students most likely wake up the earliest? Okay, so that's how many students. How many people do you think will wake up early? How many think are going to wake up late?
I usually wake up like 9.
9 is late. If the sun is up, you should be up.
At like 5 in the morning.
Yep.
How do you wake up at 9?
Okay. Ready for it? Okay. I'll leave this up here. Okay, this is a dot plot, right? And remember, I'll put this up here so you don't forget. Interval of 5. So you want to go up by 5s. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, so it's going to look just like last time. Boom. Travel time. Number of students. And you're going to have to go from 0 going up. Actually, it's just what this is. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on and so on and so on. So that's kind of
Literally going up.
right. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys about 10 to 15 minutes right now to finish this. I don't think it'll probably take you too much longer than 15. 5th graders, if you like to go now, you may go.
Wait, so what's the page? What's the page number?
88. Don't keep running until 10 minutes, then it's done.
We don't need to sign this, do we?
Yeah. Still have to get inside if you want to come watch the movie.
Tell again. Watch the movie on Friday?
It's not this Friday. We're eating
Next Friday.
next Friday and next Monday.
And we don't have what's today, right? Right? If we not sooner than you come from Josie, wait for me. Josie, wait for me, please. What if we don't do that page by next time?
Elijah, let's go.
What if we don't finish that page by next time because we are not very good at? Why is it Robert? Well,
I don't know what your guys' schedule is. Actually, if you do the homework, it is necessary. Sure. It'll take you a while anyway. Maybe you get the homework, yeah. Yeah. It's a movie's gonna take 2 class periods. Don't worry about it. I'll have it all worked out for you. Yep. And if you want to look right here. So you guys go by 5 instead of 10. Do. Well, no, 65. No, 65. Because it's 60 to 65. Yep. So it'll be, instead of going 0, 10, 20, it'll be 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You can go by 5s that way. Huh? Well, I didn't want to keep counting. You know, count by 5s. And then how's it going? So first of all, you should make this, right? But instead of going by tens on the bottom, what are you going to go up by? Okay. Do that. Don't forget the number this way too. Get that all done? Oh, you gotta go way higher than 20. Go high they have 20. Allergies? Nose is just bugging you? Okay. Look at how it's going over here. Well, first of all, you're going to be able to make something like this. Set it by 10, what I put is see you go by. Okay, so I'm going to make that.
That's go up to like 70.
Huh?
That's go all the way up to 70.
So,
Yeah.
okay, you got that all done? Alright. Well, don't forget this side yet, right? You can go up by 5 so we can just like that side. No, how high did they go? Well, you probably don't need to go that high. Maybe not even that high. Okay. Maybe. Not that bad. I could make it a lot worse.
Exactly. You can make it go up by 1.
Well, is that wouldn't really be a histogram graph, and then you use the bar graph. Oh, there you go. Maybe you should just go up by 70, put it all in one.
Yeah, that sounds like a very smart idea.
There you go. Alright, so look back, now we gotta look back over here. So between 0 and what was the first one? 5, right? But remember, we don't include that 5. It's really 5 or less. So is there anything between 0 and 5? No. So now we look at between 5 and 10. This is where you gotta look kind of close. As your So if you notice here, all these are on 10, right? So really, we're looking at this clump right here. How many dots are in that clump? 6. Okay. So there are 6 numbers there. So now, yep. So you go up. Well, let's put a line here for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 10. No, so you want to go just past that line. Okay. So there's our 6. Okay. Now same thing for this one. Now it's between what? 10 and 15, right? So now we go from 10 and we can't include 15, so it's just really this clump here, over there. Okay, so now your next one goes up to 5.
Well, I mean, it only goes up to 20.
I just do the same thing that you did. 5. Do you remember box of this? How will you look it up on the internet quick? That's what we're talking about next. And if you think you can make it for that data, that's what we're going to be doing next. So see if you can kind of figure that out.
So what's the box?
Box and whisker plot. So you did 15 to 20. 12. Okay, I'll take your word for it. And now you keep doing the same thing. Now between 20 and 25. Does that make sense? Okay. Very good. So as long as you count the dots right, you're going to be right. You mean this way? I would just do what they did. Go up by 10. Huh?
I remember now.
Yep. What?
I remember now.
Okay, so now see if you can start to make it for that data. And if you want to just, yeah.
So just like where the major numbers.
Well, remember, you gotta find the median first, and then the quartiles. And use that dot, and Bailey, if you wanna make it easier, just use the dot plot in the book. You don't have to remake the dot plot. Here you go. We got. Well, not quite, because now we changed these numbers on the bottom, right? So your bars are probably going to change a little bit. So now we have to go back over to here. Penciling. Between. Shh, guys, never banging this stuff. Now the person is between 0 and 5. And remember, we said really 5 or less. Is there anything 5 or less? No. So there. But that's in the next one. So there's no bar here because there's no data there, right? Now we're looking at between 5 and 10. And remember, we just don't include the bigger number, right? So it's like really 10 or less, right? So less than 10 to 5. You're looking at this group right here. But all these are 10. So how many dots are there? 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So at 5, we go up to your 6, roughly, right? Let's put our bar. Okay, does that make sense? And now do the same thing for 10. Between 10 and 15, we got this group. But you're not just looking at 15 and at 20, and you're saying, yeah, between 10 and 15. Between 15 and 20. Does that make sense? So 20 doesn't start till right here. So all these dots here, including this little one here, are included in the 15. Does that make sense? So really, you just got to count the dots, go up to how high you need to, and make it a bar. Does that make sense? Okay. What's this one at? Let's say that seems a little. If 5 is way down here, little seems. These are 1s. I'm assuming you counted right.
So that one is plugged in, you're gonna cut yourself. But it's fun.
Now normally they are together like that.
Well, we did
Because normally when you do this, you say you go between 10, 5 and 10 is that much. Between 10 and 15 is that much. So you normally
Stop
do
making
it
that
together.
I'm not making. Oh my God.
Just as soon as you make the fun. So the smallest number this one I know is not right. Because this is the maximum, so it goes way up to the wherever the biggest number is. This goes to the minimum. So that's why the 2 whiskers are really easy to make, because it really gets the biggest number and the smallest number. This is the nice part that you have to calculate. You get to the middle, quartile 3, quartile 1. Does that make sense? That's whatever the smallest number is. 5. You make your bar graph already? Oh, then you're done. That's all that's needed to do. Okay, you guys have 5 seconds to get to your seats. You should be done by now. 5, 4. Richard, come on, let's go. 3, 2, 1, 0. 0. Raven. Raven, get listen to you. Kidding. Okay. I'm going to have to put this on a different sheet just so we can make a bigger bar graph because I can't nearly make it big enough to fit it all nice in here, nice and neat. So, not very well. So, we're going to go like this here, and we're going to go like this. All right, here is that graph you just looked at. Now, let me make my 2 lines for this. We got the one coming down and going this way, but this is going to bug me, so I have to flip this around because the arrow should be pointing up and not down. There. Alright, so you should have went between 0 and what?
65.
This is, I'm not going to even get this to fit on here.
60.
60. So 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, all the way up to 60. Lots. Actually, you should have went a little bigger than 60, right? 65. If you went to 70, that's fine, but you really didn't have anything between 65 and 70. So you technically didn't have to go that high.
Well, the other one has there, so we thought.
Oh, you can always do it. We'll just slide it over. We'll just extend this. Oh, why did it do that to me? I don't know. 40, 45, 50, 55. Holy cow. 60 and 65 way over here in the corner. All right. If we're looking at this, I'll just put it underneath there. Kind of weird, but it'll work.
My cat got outside.
5. Oops, not 50.
Someone changed the show.
You did.
I know, because I'm scared. She's gonna run away.
Okay. Now, how many numbers, or not numbers, because we're dealing with people here in this problem. How many people arrived 0 to 5 minutes? How many? 0. So there is no bar for that one. Nothing. Okay. Now, between 5 and 10, there are how many? 6. So I should have went up to 6, roughly, hopefully. Okay. Up to 6, right? Now, how many people were between 10 and 15? How many? Oh, there's not none.
I mean, 5.
5. There is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that one right there. It's kind of hard to see when they overlap like that a little bit. Okay. So that was between 10 and 15. So triangle right at 5. Boom. Okay. Next one. Must be quite a bit because I can see 15 has a lot of dots. Okay. Shh. Now that's between 15 and 20, and this is where I don't like it very much because this dot here kind of looks like it's on 20, but it's not. It's on maybe 18, maybe 19. So really you should include all these plus that one dot right there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
12.
Really?
Yeah. 12.
Okay, I guess I'll believe you guys next time. Okay, so that goes all the way up to 12. Maybe go right there.
Yep. No, that's like, that's the one. Who cares?
It's close. Okay.
It's true.
Next one, 20 to 25. So there are, well, how many? 8 is correct. Nice job. So again, that one we'd have to go to 8 roughly.
That's fine.
I'm glad you approve of how high my bar goes. Okay,
Nice do business.
you bet. Next one, between 25 and 30, there are only how many? Only 2. Okay. Okay. Next one.
Yeah, do.
Next one, between 30 and 35, there are how many, Elijah? You may go get a drink, and yes, there are 3. So this one's maybe just going to be a little bit taller. Okay. Next one.
No, do please. Do. Yeah, do.
Okay. Is there anything between 35 and 40, Mason? Is there anything down here between 35 and 40?
Yeah.
How many? 2, yes, because there's 2 on 35. So again,
What a nice. That's a beautiful color.
okay, that is a nice color. I like that one.
The pinkish color.
All right, next one. Is there anything between 45 and or 40 and 45?
No.
45 and 50?
Yeah.
No. What about 50 to 55?
Yes.
So,
Oh, that's way cool.
yeah, not a fan of that color.
It's like salmon.
And what about 55 to 60?
Yes, what? No.
That would go in the next one.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, it's like, so it fit right. Oops. Okay, so your graph should look something like that. Maybe not quite as sloppy as mine. Maybe it is as sloppy as mine.
What? Do they like go in a car or what? Why is it travel?
How long did it take to get to school?
Oh.
So, let's see. Let's have thumbs up if you feel pretty good with histograms. Medium and down like I have no clue on these darn things. They're clueless.
Ooh. Easy. Actually, I'm gonna do this.
Okay, good. I'm going to show you one more thing. We will practice this again, so don't worry. And you will have to practice this for homework. The other thing that I want to show you real quick, which I showed you an example of. We didn't put it in our notes. But if you remember the other day, that was probably last week, I talked about box and whisker plot. Okay? And it looked like this. Now, does anyone remember this line here means the what, Riley? That's this one down here because the numbers are lower. Okay, so this is lowest value. This is highest, since you already kind of said this one too.
And that is medium.
Okay, and if you don't know these, you might want to jot this down. Let's do this line in the middle because that's probably the easier one. But that's going to be the what? Which is the median. It is the middle, Raven, but we call it the median. Also known as Q2, yes. So what do you think these two are going to be? Let's start with this one.
Q1 and 3.
Q1 and Q3 are correct. Very good.
That is that's not 9.
Okay.
Stop
So
saying that.
here's what I want you to try and do. Right? I think most of us, especially the highest and lowest, those should be like super easy, right? Because there's no calculating at all. Okay, middle, remember, start from either side and come in. And then Q1 is the middle of the low part, and Q3 is the middle of the high part. Okay, so here, let's do this real quick. Let's go back to this data. I want you to try and make the box and whisker for that data that you just looked at. So if you want to look back in your book, and I would highly suggest using the dot plot on page 87 to find the middle and stuff, so you don't have to like remake it. Because why redo it when I redid it for you? So I'm going to give you about 5 minutes right now to try and make that box and whisker plot. You're going to be erasing that right now. Unless you want to clean all my desk stuff. That's the day very much. Yes.
That's the second ion.
So go ahead and make the box and whisker for that data.
I can't.
And some people, I'll tell you right now, made the box and whisker right above this so that they didn't have to make another number line here. Let's go. We got about 3 minutes left. Elijah, you want to talk? Huh? So really remember, for this, you're really just finding the middle number.
Oh yeah, you do. Bless you.
Bless you again. see you finding the medians, or the median right now.
Really, you have to look it up. It is easy.
I have to do it here. Yeah, that's okay. Don't worry about it.
The bonus question is the easiest one.
Yeah, without looking it up.
He already has it. I know.
What?
Exactly.
You need to. Four, five, six.
Jeez.
40. So 20 on each side.
Okay, he goes. But how do we know how much we put on each side? Like, because you find things in this, I don't know. It's really nasty.
You say it was- What?
How do you know how much they put on the other line? Like, to go on?
Whiskers?
Yeah.
Biggest number on the smallest number. Okay, here we go. We're going to help you get this made. So, when in doubt, I would start with the whiskers because those are the easiest. So, remember, there's always one whisker on the smallest and one whisker on the biggest number. So, what was the smallest number, Abby Perry? 5. So, you should have a line here at 5. Okay? What was the largest one? Alex Perry? 60. Right here at 60. Okay? Now we got to make the box for it. So, when you found the median, because you kind of got to start with that first, what was the median for this data? What was the middle number that you found? 15, what'd you have? 16, what'd you have? It should have fell right between those, right? So it should actually be 15 and a half. Because there's 40 dots, that means 20 on each side, so I counted over 20, and it fell right there between those two, and I'm assuming that's 16, I guess we don't really know, it could be 17. Let's just assume it's 16, so 15 and a half, we'll have to put the next line, so this is
Actually, I think that's 17.
close enough, okay? So now we gotta find the middle of each of those yet. So I want that half of the room to do that side, this half of the room has to do the half of this side. So you got another minute or so to figure this out. If you got it done already, perfect. Yeah, you guys have Q3, you guys have Q1. Yep. Yep. Okay, I know that one. Oh no, there's 20 on that side. Okay. All right, let's do Q1 first. What do you have? 11. This one right here, right? That's what I had. How'd you get that? Start here, and keep going until you get the middle again. Okay. Same with this one. You should start here, and keep going in until you get the middle, which should have been about what?
15 and a half.
Really?
16.
Cross off, cross off, cross, cross,
16.
cross, 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 cross.
16.
This one right here.
So that's like 23.
22, 23.
23.
There's your box and whisker. Those are not very good straight lines.
Oh, it's not here.
Huh? I did, but we didn't spend a lot of time on it. So tonight for your homework, here's what you have to do. It's basically a review of everything we've done in this book. Mean, median, mode, range, Q1, Q3, IQR, MAD, which is what we did yesterday.
What about like next stuff?
No. You're gonna have to make a histogram and a box and whisker and a dot plot.
Okay. So the hardest. I always like it.
Now,
Like really 1 page.
all those dot plots, histogram, and box and whisker, if you want to just do it on a piece of paper and snap a picture with your Chromebook or something, that'd be super easy to do.
I'll just do it on my phone.
You guys have 3 minutes right now to work on it. You can probably get some of it done. In the middle, oh, it's 16. You got about 3 minutes.
I like English stuff. I like play and be quiet. That's so loud. Oh, hey, I know it.
You're very creative.
Like that. There's a bonus question on the homework as well.
If you can't get it, like,
And do not try and look it up.
I know the question. I did. Read about it. I like on it. I want to read about it. So we go. It's like yeah, I watched that too.
I actually watched the last weekend.
That's not one of my dad's favorite movies.
Not now, but do that tomorrow nights.
Oh, I know. I know this.
Be a chicken farmer.
Yeah, then you can. Oh, I like you. I like stuff, but I just don't like it. Look, my I don't know why. I don't even know like Mommy said. Emily,
All right, push your chairs in. See you tomorrow. I don't know what it says.
I'm gonna be cross. So and this is gonna be horrible. I can't come back. What are you doing? I love that.
Huh? Well, when do you want to finish it? How about you finish it in high time today?
I can't. I go to Miss Loud.
It's not there today.
Yeah, I have to go to the soccer teacher. What do we get for the salt?
Little
I don't know yet.
You should go to school.
Why? It's an easy question.
I know, but I already know.
Well, I
See,
hope so.
that's why you should do it.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know about
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that you should get that bonus question.
the bonus question is too easy.
Riley had to look it up though.
I mean, that's a classic movie.
You have to look that up?
Yeah.
I should do that every time I had word names and prompts. It's like pick a movie and say, name that movie. Is there stuff down there? No, like by the 4 or 5 that we can we'll be in here sure was. Looks like they're all gone. Someone took them all. See what's outside. Looks gorgeous outside. I'm on Dream Team.
Can we watch a movie today? We were gonna watch a movie with Miss Sarah. No.
Wait, what one? The
Forrest
with
Gump.
Matthew?